Welcome to the new video about Seven Knights Rebirth, and today I actually wanted to talk a little bit about the raid boss and specifically the Ox King. So right now I'm able to clear stage 10 like farming on a daily basis without a lot of issues, and overall the win rate is 94% with a pretty much free-to-play team composition. Yeah, I don't have Daisy still, which is insane. That's why I'm playing with Black Rose. And this is annoying, because this is actually preventing me from moving further, and it's a little bit of a problematic topic, but overall I wanted to share with overall the builds, what kind of skill order I'm using, what kind of pets, what kind of gears, and so on and so forth, and just show you the battle. So let's begin with the team composition. Overall you can see that I'm using Biscuit, Lina, Black Rose, Karan and Espada. I got her actually T1. This makes some difference, not too much, but yeah, her performance is a little bit better. Overall, let's speak about every one of them. So Biscuit is a great support unit. She is really that helpful in terms of bosses due to her ability, her skill, which is going to increase damage dealt to bosses with the upgraded skill by 40% and increase weakness hit chance by 54%. This is actually a huge one aspect, because it helps us to increase the damage output by kinda a lot. Also, with her basic skill, she is able to decrease damage dealt from opponents, so they are going to deal less damage. When we're talking about Lina, great healer, great supporter, she is able to heal really a lot, and also from her other skill she is able to decrease defense and increase damage dealt, which is kind of helpful in certain cases. For example, for this battle I'm not really using that skill. In this case I'm afraid that I'm going to lack a little bit with survivability, because timings for healing, they're important. Boss is dealing kind of crazy damage. So for the Black Rose, it's basically a cheap version of Daisy. As I was saying before, unfortunately I don't have Daisy, which is really bad, because she is great for the mage team, and in our case Espada, she is a mage type of a unit of a DPS, and with Daisy the performance and damage output is going to be really way better. So her main purpose is to remove buffs from the summons and try to kill them, at least. It's not always working, but you will see everything on your own. Yeah, from her passive, actually, if you're going to upgrade it, she will be able to heal herself, and I find it kind of helpful. For example, for stage 10, I would say that this is an important aspect to a certain extent. It's not really the best investment, but if you're lacking with the unit, which is going to be really that great and useful here, as we're talking about legendary version of Daisy, you need to consider for yourself what you're going to do. And as you can see, I even had to unlock slots for her to actually survive long enough and deal a little bit more damage. It's really annoying and a problem. It's a waste of resources at some point, but again, I lost any hopes to get myself Daisy. Maybe I will get her one day. Anyways, now we're going to Karan. Great healer, really crazy one, and he is healing based off attack. So with the gears, as you can see here, I'm using one from the dragon, which is Vanguard, which is going to increase all attack power by a certain amount, and I'm not sure if it's going to affect his healing. Maybe it's not the most important part, but I'm focusing on him mostly for attack on the weapons and for damage taken reduction, or the block rate on gears to help him survive longer. Overall HP you can see, and again the main purpose of him is to have kind of enough attack to heal a lot, and he is able to heal a lot. It's not even required to upgrade all of his skills, but if you're going to feel that you're lacking with healing, you might consider for yourself to actually upgrade them, because as a healer he's playing his role really great. Now Espada, our main DPS unit, From her passive, we need to keep in mind that she is able to increase the mage damage dealt, which is a nice addition, for each stack which she is going to receive, and there are 4 of them, so it's going to be in total 32%, and crit rate by 10%, 1 stack, so in total is going to go up to 40%. That's why you need to keep in mind about the crit rate. It's not really that important to bring it to really that high amount, and in my case, as you can see, I'm using the assassin set, so I have 67% of crit rate. It's not the most optimal set. You can use the set as Avenger one, which you're able to farm from Iron the Warrior. Just provide a little bit of crit rate there, for example 1 weapon with crit rate, or get enough stacks from the substats. As you can see here, for example, I'm using the weapon with crit damage, and additionally I get myself 12% of crit rate and some attack percentage. The other weapon is also with crit damage and some crit rate. For the gears, all attack percentage, here I have also some crit rate, all attack percentage. Here I don't have crit rate, but it is what it is. Anyways, it also providing some ignore defense, which is not that great for this boss because he has no defense whatsoever. So again, not the best set for this boss specifically. If you have a good one set from Iron Warrior with Avenger effect, is going to be way better for her. Just provide a little bit of crit rate to have at least like 30% or something like that. This is going to be more than enough. Her crit rate is going to be at 70%, and most likely in majority of cases she is going to provide crit hits. The way how she's working, another addition, actually, weakness hit chance is going to be not a bad thing to work a little bit on a substats as well, because again the damage output is going to be way better. So now about skills and how she actually working. About her first skill, which is a purging shot, I suggest to use it first. It's going to increase magic damage taken by 26%, and after that it's going to be a huge nuke, just insane amount of damage, which is going to be multiplied by her first skill, and also from the buffs which you're going to provide from Biscuit or from Lina or from both of them. I would say that Biscuit's buffs, they're more important here. Now a little bit of gears for support units. So again, for Biscuit, I'm using the set which is Gatekeeper, which is going to increase block rate. Our main target is to provide survivability to our support units. Here the stats, they don't really matter that much. Like, I have some mix, I didn't really work properly on the gears for Biscuit, but yeah, provide as much survivability as possible. The ideal set is going to be to provide the block rate and increase it up to 100%. For the weapons, you can work on both with defense percentage or with HP. Everything is going to work, to be honest, but yeah. For the skills, again, if you're going to be lucky enough to upgrade her first skill, which is going to increase damage to bosses and increase weakness hit chance by a certain percentage, it's going to be just insane and really that helpful. She is one of the top priority to me personally. I decided to prioritize first of all support units, not exactly, let's say first unit which I was working on skills were Tao, specifically my main farmer, and after that I started to work a little bit in terms of support units. So in terms of priorities, I had Biscuit and I had Lina. As you can see, for Lina, actually from her basic attack, whenever she's going to cast it, she is able to heal HP equal to 7% of the caster's max HP, which is a nice addition and helps to survive better longer, especially for DPS units which are kinda squishy. Helpful. Increased healing effect as well, nice. For the rest, they don't really matter that much. Her T2 is going to be important because it's going to, from passive, increase the crit damage by 34%, and this is a really nice thing. For her debuff skill, let's say, the difference and improvement isn't that huge. So yeah, the most important is going to be her basic attack and healing skill. About her gears, actually, as well, the Gatekeeper set with HP on both weapons. For the gears, one I'm using with the block rate, the other one I'm using also with the block rate. And if there are some substats with HP, this is also nice. This requires some adjustment. Obviously, you understand that the gears, some of them, they're not really that perfect. For PvP aspect, if you're using her there, speed is going to be an important substat to work on, but again, she's all about healing to a certain extent and provide survivability, so HP in substats is going to be also important. And obviously block rate to survive longer and survive easier. About the Black Rose, for the gears, I'm using the Assassin set to increase her crit rate and somehow to work on her stats a little bit properly, like one weapon with crit rate, the other one with crit damage, and as well, ideally, you wanna provide attack, but she's going to not be able to survive, so I was trying to find at least something from the substats, not always working that great. Yeah, for me the main priority was working on her survivability, otherwise she's going to die fast. So one piece I have with HP because I didn't have anything better, and again, additional HP isn't that great, percentage is going to be better, and the other with the block rate, but again, ideally you want to have both of them with block rate. And somehow to get yourself enough of attack, but we're going now to the skill order, and before that, about the pad, well, the pumpkin to provide the boost for magic attack, kinda helpful. So about the skill order, here you can see which I was using, which I am using. First of all, we're starting with the first skill from Black Rose, because he's going to summon these 4 creatures and we need to remove buffs from them and ideally kill all of them with her skill. Not always working, but we have quite some time to actually kill all of them. All the other units, all support units, they will be able to do it with the fact that the buffs are going to be removed, and we have quite a lot of time until the main skill from Espada. Second priority is going to be Biscuit with her damage increase to bosses and weakness hit chance. Then we're using second skill from Espada. First skill for priority is the first skill from Espada. After that, it's going to work pretty much consistent automatically. The healing are going to work properly. In some cases, when you're getting extremely lucky in terms of survivability for Black Rose, for example, or for Espada, it might be annoying, but it's really rare. As I was saying, 94% win rate, it's kind of decent. So let's start. I hope we're not going to get exactly these 6%, and this is going to be a perfect showcase. Yeah, so here starting with summons, we should try to remove all of them. Actually, not that bad. When some of them are staying alive for quite some time, you actually might end up getting more damage. And yeah, it may affect performance a little bit. So as you can see, Lina used her basic attack and she healed a little bit Espada, which is helpful. She's not going to die from this one hit. Now the skill. Okay, no weakness hit chance. Let's say no weakness hit were used there, unfortunately. The healing from Karan, as you can see, that's great, like 4k. It's pretty much decent. It can be higher, I know, but it is what it is. Usually, if I'm able to get the first hit from Espada with the weakness effect, I'm able to defeat boss with just 2 rotations from Espada. but right now it might be not really that enough, and we'll have to spend a little bit more time to actually finish him. Yeah, you see how actually drastically the damage goes down. It's like from 395 to 290. Okay, great. Even with the fact that I got myself not the best RNG in terms of survivability for Espada, my units were able to actually finish him without a lot of issues. Again, it's not the best RNG. I had way better results, but yeah, probably this run is going to be perfect. I'm going to skip to the most important parts for you just to see this. So here we go, the first skill from Espada, 513k, great. This might be enough to finish him within just the second one rotation which we're going to have. Or maybe not, who knows. Nice damage. We might be able even to finish him. This was weird timings, usually it's not the case, and after her second skill she's supposed to use her first skill without any delays, but I don't know what happened with the timings. It is what it is. Anyways, that was a weird aspect. GG. Yeah, so I'm going to stop farming here. I don't need it for now. With that being said, hope you enjoyed this video and I'm going to find this helpful, and there are going to be more videos about different modes, strategies and so on. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.